Now, the girl was worried about whether the animals played with him or not. This was the main concern for her, and so she asked her father that did the other animals run away or did they play with him? The father said no, eventually, ultimately, finally, the animals also got used to him and they did not mind his smell and they played with him. What's eventuality? In a little while. That was a stupid mummy. Now, she did not like the act of the mummy because the mummy had got the Roger skunk's smell changed. It was not, he said, with rare emphasis, and believed from her expression that she realized he was defending his own mother to her. Now, very definitely, he said in an emphasizing way that she was not. When she said the mummy was stupid, he said she was not. And she realized the girl felt as if he was defending his own mother. Or something as odd. Now I want you to put your big heavy head in the pillow and have a good long nap. He adjusted the shades so not even a crack of day showed and tiptoed to the door. Now he told her, she was not falling asleep like this, so he told her firmly that now you put your head on the pillow and take a nice good long nap sleep. He adjusted the shade also so that the light did not come in and he quietly walked to the door in the pretense that she was already asleep, pretending as if she was already asleep. But when he turned, she was crouching on top of the covers and staring at him. He thought that she would obey as soon as he turned his back and started moving to the door. But when he reached the door, he turned and saw she was not, she was actually sitting on the covers. Hey, get under the covers and fall fast asleep. Bobby's asleep. Now, giving the example of her younger brother, he said, now get into the covers and fall fast asleep, like your brother. She stood up and bounced gingerly on the springs. Now, she stood up, and children have the habit of jumping. So, she jumped gingerly, cautiously on the springs of the bed. Daddy, what? Tomorrow I want you to tell me the story that that wizard took that magic wand and hit that mummy. Her plump arms chopped forcefully right over the head. Now she wanted the story to end differently, so she told her father that tomorrow I want you to tell me the story, but in that the wizard is going to hit the mummy right on her head. No, that's not the story. The point is that the little skunk loved his mother more than he loved all the other little animals, and she knew what was right. Now, here he was trying to assert that the parents know what is good for their children. They love their children most and they know what is right for them and what is not. So he said, no, the story is not going to end like that because the little skunk, he loved his mother more than he loved the other creatures. And she was right when she had got his smell changed. No, tomorrow you say he hit that mummy. Do it. She kicked her legs up and sat down on the bed with a great heave and complained of springs as she had done hundreds hundreds of times before, except that this time she did not laugh. Say it, Daddy. Now, she was trying to insist that he should change the end of the story. He should make the end as she wanted. She had jumped on the springs many times, but she used to laugh earlier. This time she was not laughing, but she was insisting that the daddy changed the end. Well, we'll see. Now at least have a rest. Stay on the bed. You're a good girl. He closed the door and went downstairs. Claire had spread the newspapers and opened the paint can, and wearing an old shirt of his on top of a maternity smock, was stroking the chair rail with a tipped brush. Now, when he closed the door and went downstairs, He saw his wife. She had spread all the newspapers so that the paint doesn't fall on the floor, and she had opened a paint can, and she was wearing his old shirt over her maternity dress, a loose fitting dress. She was stroking the chair rail. She was painting on the chair rail with a dipped brush. Above him, footsteps vibrated, and he called, "Joanny, shall I come up there and spank you?" He could hear the jumping of his daughter upstairs, so he stopped and he called at her, "Joanny," he said, "shall I come up and spank you?" Spank you means beat. The footsteps hesitated. "That was a long story," Claire said. Now, Claire, she was working, she said that it was a very long story. "The poor kid," he answered, and with utter weariness watched his wife labor. And he, with utter weariness, watched his wife labor, that is, painting. He was watching her paint. The woodwork, a cage of moldings and rails and baseboards all around them. The furniture was all scattered around them, was half old tan and half new ivory. It was half old tan color. It's a lizard color, of white color, and half new ivory, and he felt caught in an ugly middle position. Now, seeing all this in a very tired manner, weariness means tiredly, he was looking at the furniture which was half painted and half it was of the old color. He felt as if he was caught in a very ugly position, a very uncomfortable position. And though he as well felt his wife's presence in the cage with him, he felt as if even she was caught in that cage. He did not want to speak with her, work with her, touch her, anything. He did not want to have anything to do with her. Now here the author points out towards marital discord. A person who feels constricted, who feels caught, stuck in a relationship. That is what he feels. He did not want to be in this position, caught with a wife. He felt that even she was caught. She was also stuck in this marital relation, which was no more very happy and healthy.